The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Let's get into the MAFS drama of last night.
Last night, every night.
The most recent drama.
All the nights. So Harrison is just a wonderful man, and if you don't know if you know, he's hot. We all think
Don't worry,
he's
he'll
hot.
tell you.
Yeah. And he was out, Shaun, at a bar with Dan, and he was approached by two girls because they think he's hot. And they asked if they could have his number. He said no because he's married, but I'll take yours because he didn't want to shame the girl.
Well, then you delete the number now.
Yeah. So then he's on the phone with Adam, telling Adam the story. He's on loudspeaker. Janelle overhears. Janelle thinks that he's actually said Dan is the one that has taken the number.
Right.
Then Harrison sees something happening at the dinner party, so he goes out and approaches the group that are talking about this issue, and then he tries to grab it with by both
He tries
horns,
to take control of the situation.
by both horns, and mitigate what was going on. This is Harrison doing some of his finest work and being the bestest of friends with Dan.
By some miracle, it seems that Janelle's heard that it was Dan got a phone number and not me. It's dumbfounded.
That's the thing. We don't know if it's true.
Guys, I think just tonight, just leave it and maybe let me talk to him as well.
Yeah, I should 100%.
Amen,
100%.
mate. Yeah, that is actually ideally better. Then that way it's not like a he said, she said.
We're out of it then.
All right, so if I talk to him, it goes away.
Yeah, 100%.
The last thing I need to bring to Bronte's attention is the fact that I got attention from a female at a bar while I was out with my mates. So I have to just let him take the hit on that.
I have to let him take the hit on that.
Yes.
So, okay, so then Dan goes out to the table, right?
Yeah.
And then he's sitting at the table. And then he realises that it's all coming out because everyone's starting to talk about it. So then he goes, okay, well, now I have to tell Bronte. Now I have to tell Bronte. So then he tells Bronte, and then Bronte, who's with us right now, and I'm going to have a go at it about this, Bronte then approaches the table, and then this is her reaction to what Dan had to say to the table.
Can I just say that I trust what he's saying and we can...
Why would I give my phone number? I have to be an idiot.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I know that I've been matched with a very good-looking guy. Girls are going to look at him. They're going to get his attention. I know that. Yeah. I'm cool with it. At the end of the day, if he says that he deleted the number, he deleted the number, and we move on. Honestly, I'm just done.
Bronte.
No, Bronte, I'm okay with you.
Of course you are.
Who is that girl?
100%.
So with hindsight, after seeing the episode and seeing the behind-the-scenes manoeuvring and stuff, what are your feelings today about that situation?
I feel sick to my stomach. I feel sick. Honestly, I watched that last night, and I think people forget that I'm watching it. Well, we all are.
Yes.
We're all
at the
watching
same
this
time.
at the same time. So obviously I didn't know that all of this meddling was going on, and I had no idea about this number. So obviously when I've sat back and I've watched how Harrison exposed himself, and then he's tried to deflect, shock, and then he's obviously tried to blame Dan, and I've gone, what?
And at the expense, because Sandy was very upset and left.
Sandy
she was devastated.
That wasn't fair on Dan because he started telling the situation. She just went straight on the front foot.
100%.
You're talking about being, so people want to have a dig at you for taking someone to face value. That's all you can do. If someone's telling you something,
Harrison's got some runs on the board of being an arsehole.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I hear you. I do. I understand. But I think for me, I've got such a little head. I think
you know what? We've got big heads and we take that personally.
I need more brains, clearly. So I think, when Harrison was telling me what, the information about the phone number, in my head I've gone, is this man actually taking accountability? I was shook. I was like, wow. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Obviously, I didn't know everything else that had gone on. So when he's telling me, I'm going, he's actually telling me the truth. He's actually going to tell me what happened before I find out through someone else.
But he was lying about it.
But he was lying about it. And I could see that when I was watching it, that he was lying to me. And I was like, someone paint my face with the clown emoji.
No. I get all that. I just want to know, and I'll throw this out to you two ladies. Are a lot of men just like this? Or are they just like, you know what I mean? Like, do men do this Natalie.
Well, I mean,
do men how many men out there are actually doing this, Bronte? In your opinion,
who knows what the percentage is?
Because you want to, like Shaun said, be able to trust someone and take them on face value. But then when you see someone like Harrison, and then like even Shannon, and I know that it's married at first sight, and
yes, draws a certain type of person.
But no wonder a lot of women out there after watching this,
the best
a lot of women have. No wonder a lot of women have trust issues.
Yes,
yeah, and I do have trust issues.
How could you not?
100%. So I guess, when I decided to, apply for the show and actually find somebody that I hadn't necessarily dated in the past, Harrison's pretty much every single guy rolled into one.
Oh, dude.
So it was... I had been dealt a really lousy card, and I could either run or I could actually give it a crack, because when I walked down that aisle to Harrison, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I was like... Huh.
Oh, because you don't want an Argo. No one wants to get down there and see an Argo and go, oh, God, I've got a lot of personality.
Now you sound like Shannon.
Yeah. But you don't. She's not ugly, though. She's hot.
Totally. Caitlin's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Inside and out. She's stunning. And,
not sure.
She's beautiful.
You're saying she's hot. She's not.
Shaun, what do you mean?
Caitlin's amazing.
I've got eyes.
No, you think
have you got a mirror?
Have you got a mirror?
She's gorgeous.
Comment on myself. I'm just saying.
Caitlin deserves the world.
Yeah, I think she's very sweet.
Yeah,
she does.
What we're seeing, though, we're commenting on what we're seeing last night. Mm-hmm. Those conversations are taking place. They go longer. The dinner party goes longer than however long we see on TV.
They go for hours.
So when Dan is sitting there having a conversation with Harrison, we see a part. Mm-hmm. When Harrison's having a conversation with the three people outside, we're also seeing a part, and also at the dinner party with you. So how much of that... I mean, there's a lot of GST here. So whilst we're throwing the axe into him and he looks like an absolute knob, I'm not sure where it all sits.
Okay, you know him. Is he an absolute knob?
Oh, look, I wasn't impressed by the things that he was saying and doing up until that point. Like, there's no lie that I was upset, but there is different layers to Harrison. And what everybody doesn't understand is that I'm living with this man. I'm with this man 24 hours a day, and we have conversations. We catch up on things. When we went home that night, I spoke to him about this, number, and I said, "I'm your wife. Like, you do not do that. Like, that is not okay." But in the moment, I was just so blown away by the fact that he was actually telling me.
Yes.
Not realising he had no plans to tell me whatsoever. So I was
it's just the willingness of him to throw his mate under the bus. Was like that to me. Like the number is a big crime.
I think that's the worst part.
Yes,
is the mate part.
Taking the number is actually the lesser of two evils here.
Literally just going to let Dan take the blame for all of it.
At his relationship's expense.
But on your point, Shaun, these people aren't like blind to the fact they're going, I'm married at first sight, and they're going to get edited. So you know what I mean? No one's got a hood over their head and they're dragged on TV.
No, but you also can't just take everybody for every clip that you see.
No, but we
can take Bronte's word for it.
You can take Bronte. But hold on, Bronte. Sorry, Bronte, I'm not having a go at you here. But previously we saw that you had all this information ahead of you and played it up to the cameras in day one. I mean, that's come out already. I don't know. That's what we're reading. Look, so everyone's playing their different games and aware what's going on.
Well, that's it. So that's it. Yes. Everyone is playing their different games.
So the thing is, with those messages that I got from Jess before the wedding, when I got those messages, they hadn't even caught up yet, Harrison and what's her name? Abby.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that it was Harrison. I never got a name. So I've gone, all right, well, I haven't had any confirmation that this guy is even dating this girl. Jess never brought it up to me again. So I've gone, why would I think twice about it? Okay. It's clearly not a red flag to me at the moment. But if I do get this guy, at least I can play it to my advantage and I go, oh, cool, like, I know exactly how to play it with you. Or if he does get another girl, I'll be able to tell her. But when you go into it and you actually marry the stranger, every strategy that you think you're going to have to protect your heart goes out the window.
Right.
You know? Right. And I got dropped with the bomb on the wedding day. But the thing is that what I was mad at with that is Jess FaceTimed me the night before. She knew about the wedding for weeks. She knew the date.
Yeah.
And then obviously I was like, why didn't you just tell me on FaceTime last night? Or why didn't you tell me leading up to the wedding? Why did you have to tell me at the wedding? So you knew this relationship progressed.
Better TV.
Totally. But she knew the relationship progressed, but never told me.
Do you think the producer spoke to her and told her to tell you at the wedding?
Oh,
yes.
100%.
I mean,
because
she was the only one who had her phone.
Your surprise face, it was made for a great promo.
So
I have a very expressional face.
On that, you don't speak to Jess anymore, do you? Or you do? Have you worked it out?
Unfortunately, no, because obviously I wanted to reconcile. I did. And then she screen recorded the voice notes and sent them into every single gossip page. You could
Yes.
possibly think of.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
So I was wondering how they got it.
You know,
Yeah.
it's shitty, and
Yeah.
I've owned it. It's me. I said what I said,
Yeah.
and all I was doing in that moment is I was shit scared.
Yeah.
I was like, what do I do? Like, I could play like this, I could do this, I could do that. There was so much more context to these voice notes. You heard 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the thing about going on a show like this. You're going to hear 20 seconds,
Yeah, you are.
10
Yeah,
seconds.
and
You're going to hear
you see
conversations
5%
pieced together.
of
Yeah.
what actually happened.
Yeah.
So,
God,
yeah.
it must be so unlucky because you do go on this show, and you know the dream thing would be to possibly meet someone.
Oh,
Yeah, and some people do, but it's a rarity.
But then you get partnered. They knew who Harry.
Yes.
They knew. The experts knew
They
who
would have
Harrison.
rubbed-
was.
That's why when John came in here, Nathan,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
come on,
Nathan,
mate.
you say experts, the producers.
Sorry, the producers.
Rub
They
their
know who
hands
you're.
with the glee
so
when
it's
they
just
find
like,
somebody like him.
unfortunately, you got given one of those people. But then
Yeah.
again, I mean, you're getting some airtime. So, I mean, you know,
at the expense of my mental health, but that's
Yeah, sure.
okay.
yeah.
I didn't agree to go on MAFS thinking that it was going to be a breeze.
Yes.
But did I go on MAFS thinking I didn't know Harrison's personality? I had no idea
Yeah.
that, you know, the man's clearly
Yeah, but you've watched most seasons,
narcissistic.
haven't you?
Totally.
But you just hope you're not going to get that guy
But
or
you
that
don't
girl.
go in thinking, yeah, there's women like this too.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
You don't go in thinking, oh, I'm going to get the worst of
Yeah.
the worst.
Yeah.
But as I said, there is layers to Harrison, and he's like
Yeah.
a crab.
Yeah.
He's very
Yeah.
hard exterior.
Yeah.
But there
and
is
he's a
little
father,
soft
so
side.
there'll be soft sides to him there
There
as
is.
well. But, you know,
There is.
everyone knows what they're going into, and it's a garbage can fire. And you just hope that you survive without too many burns.
Totally. I think I've got a few scars, but we
I
survived.
wouldn't be surprised. All right. Thanks for coming in, Bronte.
Thanks,
Bronte.
Continue Sunday night from 7 o'clock on Night.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.